Well, we have a new Doctor Who episode, and with that comes ratings, and spoiler alert, they're just as bad as you think they are. But there's something funny about them I want to point out, and we'll get to that. But I wanted to start here. So Disparu posted this, and Disparu actually makes reviews on this show. I don't know how he keeps his sanity sitting through all of these shows, but he manages to pull it off. He watches a lot of bad stuff, but his reviews are funny. So you just watch those instead of the show, and you'll be okay. But he posted this, and my first thought is, wow, that's so entertaining. Wow, that's definitely what I want to watch after a hard day. I want to sit down for some escapism, kind of forget my problems, look for some entertainment. No, you just get a good old-fashioned lecture. Doctor Who Season 14, Episode 5 explores racisms through a powerful twist ending, challenging viewers to confront their own biases. Showrunner Russell T. Davies wanted to highlight the reality of racism in modern society, not just in the past. Wow, that just sounds like such great entertainment. I'm sure people tuned in, right? No, they lost another 500,000.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
They're getting destroyed. Every new episode. But what's funny about this one, so let's go down to the numbers. So, Doctor Who specials, right? Those popped up. Special one, 5 million. Why is that? Well, you brought back the old Doctor that people actually liked, and they hung around while he was there. Even though everyone saw the writing on the wall, and when the new season started with the new Doctor completely and the old one was gone, they lost half of their viewership after being told to touch grass, to stop watching the show. There'll be 3 or 4 people to replace you if you leave, which didn't happen. And they got consistently bad. Now, last time I talked about this, I said around 2 to about 6 million, I think. 2 to 2.6, I think, is where their sweet spot is going to be. And I think it's going to fluctuate there. And that seems to be holding. But what's funny is episode 4, the views actually kind of shot back up for a second. And what makes that funny is the new Doctor was barely in it. He disappears at the beginning of the episode, and it's about his companion, who isn't bad looking. So you're looking at her the whole time. And then he comes back. He's in the entire episode for the one that's about racisms. And the views dip back down. They dip back down big time. So this is where it's going to hold. And I think I'm right. This is where it's going to stay. It's going to stay around 2 point something to 2.6. And that is going to be the audience for this show. That's it. So another 500,000 people dipped from last week. And, you know, everyone likes to talk about those streaming numbers. Those streaming numbers for Disney. What about those? Well, I got to tell you, the show has been there for a minute, a few weeks now, and we haven't seen any Nielsen numbers. And we also haven't seen Disney come out of the gate talking about how satisfied they are with the performance of this show. They invested a significant amount of money into it. That is the place where you stream the new Doctor Who episodes. And boy, oh boy, there hasn't been one announcement on that. They haven't come out and talked about how amazing and happy they are about it. Nothing. Silence. That, my friends, is telling. And I bet you those numbers are garbage, and they know it. Nobody cares or gives a shit about this new direction for the show. And it's only going to get worse. Now, I think it'll be from 2 to 2.6 for this season, but I bet you next season the numbers go down even more. The show has lost over half of its viewer base that actually stuck around and stayed during the Jodie Whittaker era. And this Russell T. Davies guy was supposed to come back and save the show, and that didn't happen. Now did it. This show is screwed. And Disney, their little touch, their magic touch to this show screwed it even more. And what a shame, right? This is a cultural icon, pop culture icon, I mean. But nevertheless, like Doctor Who, big, relevant franchise, and they killed it. Killed it. And thankfully, they have all of that old stuff that people can watch. But, as far as growing this franchise, I just don't think that's going to happen. You've essentially doomed it unless they really do turn that around. And I don't think that's going to happen because Russell T. Davis, from what I understand, was talking about how great and important the Timeless Children shit was. This show is done. But yeah, as they point out in this article, the Disney-invested Samba TV viewership data company has refused to post the Doctor Who household numbers for Disney+. Probably, well, they put obviously because they're terrible. We don't really know, but I do agree. The fact that we don't know what these numbers are, and Disney's not sharing it, Samba TV isn't sharing it, they're probably bad. So this is a complete disaster. And yeah, I think people are turning away from this kind of stuff. And any sniff that they get of that shit, I think that they don't want anything to do with it. That's why Furiosa bombed, because of trash like this show. People are tired of it. They're tuning out. They want nothing to do with it. What you're left with is boomers that leave the TV on. And there's probably a lot of them that were sleeping when this show was running. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting ride watching this season. I'm looking forward to seeing just how low things can go. But I think we stay at 2 to 2.6. I think that is kind of where things hang out for this season. I don't think they'll go lower than 2 million. I think they stay where they're at and they fluctuate. But I do think it's funny that he's not in an episode. It shoots up like 500,000 people. He comes back to be in the entire thing. People run off again. That is kind of funny. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on all of this. I would like to hear from all of you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.